Dear friends, welcome back. At the very beginning of this video, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each one of you for the love and the support you have consistently showered upon my cause and helping my previous video reach out to the bigger masses. Never did I thought that this concern of mine would be acknowledged and carried forward in such a huge rate. I thank all the 19-20,000 viewers who had passionately watched my video and have understood the depth of the situation and the ground report of all the unprofessional and unethical management practices that was being highlighted in my previous video. Although these days were tough, where I hardly had the guts to speak up after I had posted the video, it is all because of your never-ending support and inspiration that has helped me gain confidence to speak up again. Today in this video, I would be sharing the developments that took place in LPU after the previous video had surfaced in the internet and after you all had made it a widespread sensation. Dear friends, just after the video was published, it started reaching out to the bigger masses. As soon as the video had reached the higher authorities of LPU, access to my email services, the university management services, and the lecture delivering platform had been blocked. Although this happened at midnight, I was aware of the situation the next day only. As you know that my previous video had surfaced the internet on Monday evening, let me tell you that I was already on leave for Monday and Tuesday. As I was under tremendous stress for all the financial atrocities that I was piling up, I had to take a break and bring back my peace of mind as I had a responsibility towards the students of LPU. However, since Thursday or Friday of the previous week, I was being asked few silly yet suspicious questions from my department head. One of them was, did you get a job somewhere else or are you having an offer with you currently? The second question was asked on Saturday and was, what are your plans for taking classes from Monday onwards? These questions were quite disturbing for me. Definitely, if I would have got a job, I would have applied for resignation because you have already realized in the previous video that's a good amount of salary was being deposited and also my documents were in HR's possession. Now, although as per UGC's public notice dated back in 11th August 2020, it says that higher education institutions are barred from possessing any academic certificates or documents of the faculty in original, we are made to submit our documents to the HR. Despite of UGC's announcement in this regard, LPU's HR has not felt the urge to return back our original documents. Hence, our documents are still in HR's possession. Definitely, if I am to leave my job in LPU, I would be requiring those documents as well. So the question of leaving my current job is completely out of the equation. However, what made my department head ask the question of having a job offer was too suspicious. When this suspicious question started coming up, I got disturbed in the view that the department is trying to cut me out at a time when my salaries are already deducted. Also, it would have been definitely better and more sensible if instead my department head was looking into the matter of how my salary deductions were justified instead of having such cunning and suspicious questions in his or her mind. So I took leave for Monday and Tuesday, but in the meantime on Monday, as you know, my previous video had come up. From that point, all my accesses were blocked. However, as my leave was until Tuesday, I, having the moral responsibility of taking classes from Wednesday onwards, tried to log into my accounts. The access was still blocked, however. Having seen these, I had no other options but to send my resignation to my department and school head, citing all the unprofessional practices for which I was disturbed. Now, from there was a chain of events where not many permutation and combination was tried to convince and manipulate me in deleting my previous video and resume my services. My total deductions, as you have already seen in my previous video. However, I would request you to check the description box of my previous video for the corrected amount that was being withheld. There was a bit of calculating error due to which I had to put up my corrected amount in the previous video's description box. This is the hierarchy of LPU to the best of my knowledge, and alongside there are a few other stakeholders of this situation. The HR, instead of tackling the issue directly, had vested the responsibility on my school's and department's head. Then the responsibility of convincing me and persuading me to delete the video was tasked to my colleagues who were close to me both professionally as well as personally. I was offered the full salary of the previous month and the security deposit of mine would be considered in full. That is, they would be considering the security deposit of 2 months' salary instead of the amount of some 75,000 that was being deducted during my early days. I can resume the classes from the next day. That was their offer. However, you by now already know the rough amount that has been deducted wrongfully. But at the end of the day, I got an anonymous call through which I was apprised of the matter that the department was already in discussions with another individual to join as my substitute. However, when that person was being told that there are 6 subjects that needs to be taught to the students, the person refused to join. It was from this moment I started getting sympathies from my department and school head, who in few occasions termed me as a troublemaker. Prior to this phone call, I felt the concerns for my students, as I had to forcefully leave them in the midway and hence even considered taking the classes. For this, I put forward my stand in the matter that once my wrongful deductions are repaid in full and with interest wherever applicable, and my submitted documents along with the experience certificate is handed over to my colleague, I will definitely resume taking classes for the students. But for that, I would be doing so by working from home, and I would consider a deducted salary since I need not pay for the expenses for my stay in Jalandhar. That was out of full professional courtesy and responsibility I had offered my help. But after having knowledge of the double standards where the department was already in talks for my replacement, and when that person refused to join, the department started becoming compassionate for me. I was furious and decided that I should not entertain this matter forward and rather focus on getting my rightful dues back. There were continuous attempts, however, where my colleagues were involved to persuade me to the best of their possibilities. After that failed, numerous calls were made to few of my previous heads and few other faculties who left earlier and was suspected to be in touch with me in this matter. Even that failed. Then, yesterday evening, a person claiming to be someone from the LPU media team got in touch with me. He too stressed on the matter about my future career prospects by questioning how the previous video of mine will have repercussions in my future professional life. The recording of the conversation has been put up on Google Drive. You can access it by clicking on the link provided in the description box. Finally, my family was involved in this matter. Again, my close colleagues were forced to talk with my father so that somehow my parents might manipulate me in deleting the previous video and resume my responsibilities. However, when my father questioned about the fact of my deduction and the hypocrisy of the matter, the conversation had to be ended later on with no fruitful outcomes at their end. My father suspected that there were other individuals besides my colleagues who were pinpointing the facts of negotiations. I hope you now realize that how HR is trying their best to not involve themselves in the matter and get the issue resolved at the least financial repayment conclusion. But friends, I can assure you I will not bow down unethically, nor I will be tempted by some financial lump sums. I only seek for justice and action in the repayment of all the wrongfully deducted dues, my salary security deposit along with the interest and my submitted documents and the experience letter from LPU. I do hope that you will continue to support me in this matter and help the truth find its way out to the public. Many thanks for watching the video. Hope to see you again. Thank you very much.